Alright, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and well, pay in this industry is still, well, effed up. So I'm trying to get back into making videos, so be patient. I'm sorry, it is what it is, but right now I'm going to do a video talking about something I recently did, and well, it just shows how effed up this industry's pay still is. So recently I was out on my back porch smoking a cigar, having a nice scotch. If you're curious, it was the classic Lottie from Brook Lottie. And I Googled local auto tech jobs. And well, I was not shocked, but just disappointed. And looking through the posts, it realized how poor this industry is at, well, paying its techs. For starters, the local Walmart, the TLE department was paying $20 to $30 for tire techs and, well, basic oil change maintenance kind of things. And, well, you figure that's where a lot of technicians start. So then I go and look at local shops that are hiring for those kind of positions. And they weren't even coming close to what Walmart was paying. I saw one for $15.95 for a tire tech. You can go work at Walmart and make more money, work less hours. Let's talk fleet, because that's everybody's, go to fleet, go to fleet. And well, my local municipality was looking for an auto tech, and I forget the exact level they were looking for, but it included, changing oil, replacing engines, transmissions, everything from cars, trucks to medium duty trucks, etc., loaders, etc., etc. And it was paying, the top was $25.95 if I remember correctly. Now you go, oh, but benefits. Benefits in my area, my municipality, suck. You don't get a pension, you get a 401k, and you get health insurance for you. Not your family, just you. You have to pay for everybody else. It's not that good. And you don't make, well, much. Okay. There's a local transmission shop that's looking for an automotive technician. 5 years experience. $40,000 to $60,000 is what they're offering for a tech with 5 years experience to diagnose cars, pull transmissions. Yeah. And you wonder why people are getting out of this industry. Now, I've talked about it many times before. Because a lot of, especially the influencers that you see in all the groups, the shop owners, if you ever see them post an ad for a job, they never post what they're paying. Wonder why that is. Now, I've heard the argument you don't want people just applying to jobs for the money. Why else do you go to a job? Why else do you go every day to work? It's for money. And I've always said, you need to make the most amount of money as a technician while you can, because your body's going to die. Your body's going to wear out. This is a hard industry on the body. You need to make as much money as you can. Now, unfortunately, I only have anecdotal data to this because, again, most of those influencers, shop owners that are very, popular, posting in groups and whatever, I can only find so much information about what they pay. Anecdotally, they don't pay crap. Some do, most of them do not. And well, it kind of shows the problems in this industry. Even the advocates of high pay don't always. A shop owner that used to like me doesn't anymore and has become definitely has drank the Kool-Aid of being a shop owner who, said things like, no technician has ever given me a idea for improving the shop that was worth a crap, even though he consulted me on stuff and I'm just a dumb tech, But anyway, he didn't pay crap when I first started talking to him. He probably still doesn't, except unfortunately he's had to from probably some of his top techs. That screams why this industry is in such problems. The average technician should not be making, now we're talking average. That's how this, the average technician in this industry, average. This is, should be the average day-to-day technician. So the vast majority of them should be this level. $40,000 to $60,000 for $40,000 to $60,000 worth of tools. It just doesn't, the math doesn't math, period. A technician with 5 years experience should not be making $60,000. That shouldn't be even a possibility. And they dang sure should not be working for $40K, period. And that's what's wrong with this industry. And it continues. Yeah, there's shop owners out there that pay well. There's shop owners that, do things. But the vast majority of shops still pay crap. It's sad when you look at jobs and the chains are paying way better than independent shops. And a lot of the shop owners that claim to pay really well, it doesn't appear like they do. They may, I don't know. They don't post what they pay. So I can only go on anecdotal information. If you see a post for a shop wanting to hire and you don't see what they pay, it's probably going to be crap. And that's been my experience. Every time I've gone to a shop for an interview, they start talking pay, it's garbage. My experience across the board. That's why I adopted that policy, because if they aren't willing to price the pay, it means they're not competitive, period. Every shop talks about increasing revenue. Do they talk about increasing technician pay? No. So if it's not in the ad, don't waste your time, because chances are you're going to get there, you're going to go through the whole process, and they're going to offer you bottom barrel pay. Just been my experience. Your mileage will, of course, vary, but that has been my experience. So it just shows why this industry continues to struggle, because, pay just isn't keeping up. Yeah, there's shops out there that pay really well. There's shops out there that treat their employees well. But the average sucks. And that's one of the huge problems in this industry is, average is the average shop. So the average technician ain't making crap. And you have to supply tens of thousands of dollars of tools. And of course, those shops that don't pay crap also don't buy special tools. So you got to supply those, meaning you make even less because, you're buying a tool that you may only use a couple times in your lifetime. Simple example. Recently, Craig, that used to work with me at Anthem, borrowed my Volvo timing tool that I've used a handful of times. It was a $700 tool when I bought it. And, when you pay crap and you expect technicians to buy those tools and then wonder why they don't and try to jury rig it and it doesn't work, it's your own fault. So this industry needs to be more competitive in pay. Period. End of story. As a technician, I shouldn't be going into a job search throwing half the ads away because they don't pay even close to enough for what I should be getting. And that's horrible for this industry. Fix your crap. You can't pay a technician. I don't know what you're doing in this industry, because that's who does the work. Side note, I recently saw an ad for a service advisor for a group of shops. It's, like 3 owners. I know the company, and they were advertising for a service advisor. The pay was $160,000 to $180,000 for a service advisor. Now, it's important to note, according to the owner, they have technicians making over $200,000, so they pay well. But regularly, I see ads for service advisors, $120,000, $140,000. And if you look for a technician ad for that same company, it's in that $40,000 to $60,000 range. Think about that. What do they value? Well, they value sales. They don't value the work getting done. They value who sells it. It's another problem in this industry. They're more concerned with sales than they are of producing good repairs, because I'm sorry, you don't pay a technician well, you're getting what you pay for, period. You're willing to pay for a service advisor, why aren't you willing to pay for a good technician? Now, the argument, of course, is that there's not that many good technicians out there, which I would 100% disagree with. If you paid and you offered that pay, you're going to find good quality technicians. You got to pay for them, though. Good technicians do not come cheap. And when you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, you're going to find the bottom of the barrel technicians. So you want good technicians, you got to pay for them. You got to pay top dollar. If you want crap, pay crap. A shop owner or whatever recently posted talking about the average technician was crap. And, well, no, they're not. The technicians you're seeing are crap because your shop pays probably crap. Good technicians, not easy to find. But if you pay them, they will come. Because guess what? Top pay for top talent. Even a good R&R guy is worth their weight in gold. Yeah, they may not be able to diagnose with the best of them, but they can yank and replace that engine under book. They're worth their money. But if you're not willing to pay for it, you're not finding them. I know this video was rambly, ranty, all over the place, but I'm out of practice, so bear with me. But as always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.